Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be discussing my first thoughts on Deadpool Wolverine. This is going to be a quick video just going over some spoiler-free stuff and then the spoiler stuff. I'm going to be having a longer discussion on a live stream on my second channel, Black Hudson Productions, in which me and my co-host Peter will go really into depth. So if you want a long-form version of a review, I would suggest go there, but if you just want to stick around, see my initial thoughts, stay tuned. Also, I talked about Robert Downey Jr. being Doom, essentially, for the MCU in my previous video that I uploaded yesterday. So make sure to check that out for you to know my thoughts and opinions on that, if you even care. Other than that, let's get right into it. So what did I think about Deadpool and Wolverine? Did I love it? Did I hate it? The answer is somewhat in between. I think this is a good movie. I think this is a good MCU movie. Was I overall impressed with it? Not really, and in fact, I would dare say I still think Deadpool 1 is the best. Then it would go Deadpool, Wolverine, and then Deadpool 2. This is very much a MCU-ified Deadpool movie. I kind of liked, those early Deadpool movies were really under budget, but that was kind of the charm of them, is they didn't have a lot to work with, so they really had to, struggle, and filmmaking always brings the best out of projects, but with, this one, it seems like they gave a blank check to Ryan Reynolds and was like, hey, just do Deadpool, but have it be affiliated with the MCU, so you're either going to love that or you're going to hate that. And I follow somewhere in between to that. Now, my opinions on the Deadpool character as a whole, I think he's a little bit annoying if the writers aren't correct for it. Deadpool's origins were when he first started out, he's more like a cynical, funny, one of his first examples of a fourth wall break is, hey, where'd Bruce Banner go? Or I don't remember the character's name. And then Deadpool just replies with, oh, that was back in issue 16. That was the first example of him breaking the fourth wall. I think within those barriers, like him acknowledging the reader, it's fine, but if it's overused, then it just gets completely out of hand. And some writers do it completely out of hand, and the run is just kind of annoying, and others actually do a pretty decent job at it. My personal favorite Deadpool is Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. It's a very cynical Deadpool, and I think that's where I like the Deadpool, not the chimichangas kind of Deadpool stuff. Ryan Reynolds is pretty much a good in between, I think. He's more of a funny, flamboyant Deadpool, but you only get 2 hours of him, and it's not annoying by any means. Toward the end, it started getting a little grating. During the movie, he was fine, and he had a foil to play off of, that being Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, which is the straight man, pretty much. So you have that fun buddy cop dynamic. You've probably heard that a million times from other reviews, but that doesn't make it less true. Hugh Jackman returning as Wolverine, he does a great job. Obviously, he loves the character. I do hope this is his last time. Logan was such a good send-off, and I feel like for him to be in this is a good send-off to 20th Century Fox universe and him having be in it and stuff like that. But after that, I don't think I want Hugh Jackman as Wolverine anymore. It's fun for this. He'll probably make a cameo in Avengers Secret War, but after that, I think I'm all right. The dude's getting pretty old. There are certain CGI effects in this movie that look a little yikesy. But regardless, the movie is incredibly fun. I mean, you kind of know what you're getting into. If you didn't like any of the other Deadpool movies, you're probably not going to like this one. This one's not going to change your mind. But if you were a fan of those, you'll probably fit right into this. The opening scene is great. Great tone setter. The ending, the ending was solid, I think. I think that was probably one of my favorite parts of the film, without getting into spoilers already. Overall, I enjoyed it quite a bit. Would I say this is the best thing to come out of the MCU? I say it's on par with Shang-Chi kind of thing. If I had to place it on a tier list, I'd probably place it at a solid B. I think a high B, close, lower A, high B. I just think it relies too much on cameos, and that's all I'm going to say in the spoiler-free section. If that's your spoiler-free review, I definitely recommend it, and if I had to scale it on a number, it'd probably be a 6 or 7 out of 10. But going into the spoiler-filled section. So if you have not seen the movie, definitely do not watch further on. This is where you can jump, basically. But for those of you who are staying, let's get right into the spoilers. I liked the cameos in this movie. Listen, I like probably my favorite thing was the Channing Tatum as Gambit, because for those who are confused by that, like, why is Channing Tatum Gambit? Basically, he was going to be Gambit. He was going to have a standalone Gambit movie, but 20th Century Fox just kept canceling it left and right. So he finally gets to become Gambit with his terrible French accent that Deadpool even acknowledges and makes fun of. So yeah, I mean, that was such a shock. I loved seeing Elektra in this. Jennifer Garner resuming her role as Elektra. That was great. Especially that little joke at the end where Deadpool's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Daredevil died," and she's like, "Meh," because Ben Affleck and her had a pretty public divorce. So that was a good line. Blade was awesome to see. I absolutely loved seeing Blade. Wesley Snipes just killing it. And then that little joke where he's like, there's only going to be one Blade. And the way the Marshall Ali stuff is going down, which, by the way, let me know if you want my opinions on that on another video, is a very funny line. Deadpool's humor in this, kind of like what I said in the spoiler-free section, it's good. You're either going to love it, you're going to hate it, and it goes on for the entire movie. So if you're sick of it in the beginning, you're not going to like it through most of the film. I did like, however, the jabs at, like, aren't people sick of this multiverse stuff? And while I appreciate that, this one definitely still is, like, reveling in the multiverse stuff. In fact, I think Spider-Man, I believe it's No Way Home. Yeah, No Way Home. The whole point of that movie is just to see the Spider-Man. But then, like, you watch Deadpool and it's like, oh, well, it could have been like Deadpool. It feels like a lot of the characters that show up that are from the multiverse are just kind of there to be a, hey, look at that. Whereas, like, say Andrew Garfield from No Way Home, he had a character arc that was closed up by saving MJ of that universe, where you don't really get any closure to any of the multiverse characters. They're just kind of cool to be like, oh, look, Gambit, Elektra, Blade, and X-23 are all ganging up. Now, this gives them sort of an ending, and I wasn't expecting them to go in depth of, like, here's where my character has been at. But at the same time, something a little bit more meat on the bone would have been appreciated. As far as Ryan Reynolds and Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, again, great. Hugh Jackman's character was interesting. He just seemed kind of a loser in his universe. And then that's what got the X-Men killed, essentially, is him going out drinking and then not being able to save his friends. I feel like I wanted a flashback scene of that, but I did absolutely adore Henry Cavill's cameo as Wolverine, because so many people have been asking for that. He even does the reload of the arms and stuff like that. For those of you who don't know, in Mission Impossible, he's one of, like, the villains, I guess, or a character in the film. And in the trailers, he does this thing where, like, he gets back up, he's exhausted, and he, like, reloads his arms, and he even does that in the fucking movie. So that was kind of fun. That was a fun inclusion. And all the comic book Deadpool, or all the comic book Wolverines that Deadpool visits, like, he visits the Max universe, he visits a famous comic book cover from Uncanny X-Men, he visits Age of Apocalypse Wolverine. All of those very entertaining, very good. Here's some other cameos that I missed talking about in my original recording that I just thought of. Obviously, Chris Evans coming in thinking it's another variation of Captain America, and then him being Johnny Storm and him absolutely being a dickhead was hilarious. That was one of the best cameos of the entire movie, and just having him being killed unceremoniously was hysterical, and a long-going gag of Deadpool saying, like, no, he said all that stuff, I didn't just make up that stuff. And at the end credits, it's revealed, yeah, it was actually Johnny Storm doing that. So that was fun, just seeing, like, the guy who plays Captain America as Johnny Storm, aka Human Torch, just say the most vulgar things I've ever imagined. And then all the recurrent X-Men characters, mainly Pyro. Pyro gets a little bit of something to do in the movie, betraying Cassandra Nova and stuff. So that was fun. And then a lot of the other background characters, like there was, I think her name is Lady Deathstrike in the comics, the one with the long adamantium claws. I noticed that. Obviously, the Sabretooth battle, which lasted like 2 seconds, but that was still fun. And I'm sure I'm missing other ones in the background. There's Azrael, I think, which is like Nightwing's dad in the comic books, or at least he was. I think that's changed now. Obviously, Cassidy Nova, she's the main character, or is it Cassidy? I don't know. She was a decent villain. You know, it seemed kind of odd because she said, "Oh, I'm all right with being in the void, like, I don't mind because I get to control everything. But then the minute, like, there's an opportunity for her, all of a sudden she wants to take over the multiverse. I didn't understand that. The performance was very good, very threatening villain, but the motivations behind the villain were just kind of weird. The TVA's involvement was interesting, obviously carrying over from Loki. The guy from Succession was very hammy, cheesy, which was perfect in a Deadpool-esque movie. All the Deadpool cosplayers, I'm sure there were some cosplayers in there. Blake Lively playing as Lady Deadpool, and Kid Deadpool, I believe, is voiced by one of Ryan Reynolds' children, so that was a lot of fun, and that whole fight sequence, raid style is awesome. I love anytime there's just one shot and just massive carnage going on. That's one of my favorite things in film. It was really cool. Besides that, like, when they're jumping out of the bus and it's, like, so obviously CGI, like, that was a little cringe. Nice Deadpool was very funny. Ryan Reynolds, that one line where he just, like, looks at the camera and goes, "The proposal." Like, my girlfriend was laughing hysterically. And then finally, just wanted to mention this. The cowl looks so good. The mask looks so good on Hugh Jackman. And whited out eyes, you know. It's so funny to see the costume go full circle with superhero movies, because the original X-Men, they make fun. What do you want? Yellow spandex? Like, that was in the first X-Men movie. And now it seems like comic accurate costumes are finally getting love, and live action studios are noticing that, hey, people like comic accurate costumes and they don't look stupid. So yeah, anyways, back to the video. Overall, I did have fun. I wouldn't say it's anything groundbreaking or changing. Like, my example of, like, a really outstanding MCU film is probably, like, Guardians 3, where it really takes it there and takes risks. This one doesn't really take risks, but it is a lot of fun. And if you're looking for a fun time, I certainly had a blast. And I like how it just isn't simply Deadpool is now in the MCU now. He's kind of settled in his own universe. He'll probably visit the MCU every now and again, but he seems pretty at home in his established universe. And you know, that's a brave move, because they could have easily just been like, Deadpool's part of the MCU now, what's up? But it felt right for the characters. Those are my opinions on Deadpool and Wolverine. Let me know if you guys agree with me. Let me know if you think this was absolute trash, or whether you thought this was the greatest thing ever. How could you diminish it so much? I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying it's pretty good. It's pretty fun. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Especially subscribe, because I'm going to be trying to post a lot more. So if you want to know when videos are up, that'll be there. Also, Black Hudson livestream might be happening this week. I don't know a solid day for when we're going to go over Deadpool and Wolverine, but I will post in the community tab saying when we're live. So make sure to subscribe, so that way you know for sure when we are going live and doing a longer discussion and a more in-depth discussion on Deadpool and Wolverine. Anyways, that's going to be it, guys. See ya.